Minnesota Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins played some of the best ball of his career after the bye. First 6 weeks, yeah, not so much, but why you keep bringing up old stuff? But with his contract is what it is, I think the Vikings will roll with Kirk for the next 2 seasons and hopefully hoist that Jerome Barty. Fully understand that. And the Vikings could just come up, we are not trading Kirk Cousins at this time. And the Vikings fans would be like, it would be a whole lot cooler if you did, right? But with Kirk Cousins elevating his level of play, that also makes him more attractive to prospective trade partners, especially teams that see themselves as a quarterback away, hence the San Francisco 49ers, hence the Denver Broncos, with their new general manager, George Paton, who knows a thing or two about Kirk Cousins, who knows a thing or two about Rick Spielman. So maybe they just get on the phone, or maybe they just talk and text more than people know. I don't know. Yeah, so last year, Denver went 5-11, but they are way more talented than the record suggests, even though you are what your record says you are. Injuries to Cortland Sutton right away, as well as Von Miller, really sank the season. And second-year quarterback Drew Lock out of Mizzou is yeah. And also weird, the Joe Flacco trade didn't work out, just like the corpse of Joe Flacco, just trying to recreate the Hail Flacco out in Denver. Now, ain't gonna happen. Head coach Vic Fangio is on the hot seat. I think that he can rebuild that defense, but obviously he is going to be all in on the season. And even though John Elway is not the GM anymore after his promotion, I still think that his fingerprints are still going to be on this franchise. How can you separate the Broncos of John Elway, right? But he has never been afraid to take big swings on big arm quarterbacks, drafting Drew Lock in the second round, drafting Paxton Lynch in the first round, drafting Brock Osweiler back in the day, signing Case Keenum, even though not really a big arm guy, as well as Peyton Manning. Definitely was not a big arm guy, but a big time signing, as well as trading for Joe Flacco. So Elway is still looking for the next John Elway, even though it ain't happening. But big arm Kirk Cousins, thin air up in Mile High, could he be that missing piece? I don't know. Plus, you have Cortland Sutton, you have Jerry Jeudy, you have KJ Hamler, you have Noah Fant, you have Melvin Gordon, stupid Badger, you have Garrett Bowles. So you do have pieces on offense. Plus, you have Pat Shurmur, even though he and Cousins never crossed over in Minnesota, you think that they could work pretty simpatico with very similar concepts from Kubiak to Shurmur. So you're like, maybe this could work. Plus, if you traded for him, it would only be having to pick up his $21 million base salary next year against your cap. Broncos have about $18.9 million in cap heading into next season, so it's doable. It is. And the Vikings are obviously cool with keeping Kirk Cousins because I do think that Kirk does give them the best chance to win short term in 2021. But if Peyton wants him, and also, he could be a big fan of Kirk Cousins. Like, behind the scenes, Peyton could have been that driving force behind Kirk signing and also Kirk getting that extension. He could have been the one banging on the table, standing on the table, doing everything to the table, just like Bill's Mafia for Kirk, who's been, since Peyton has been Spielman's consigliere for the past 14 years in Minnesota, and even going back further to Miami and Chicago. So, what if there's a way that the Vikings could get their quarterback of the future, get Kirk's contract off their books, and the Broncos could dial in to win now mode with Kirk, and Peyton could ramp up his draft picks to seed the future in his first draft class? So here is our trade scenario. Broncos get Kirk Cousins, the number 14 overall pick in the first round, and also the Vikings' last 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round picks. The Vikings get number 9 overall. They get that second rounder back, number 40 overall. You love it. Plus Dalton Reisner, who was the Broncos' 2019 second round pick out of Kansas State University. Been sort of so far, as well as guard Nathaniel Moody, who's a 2020 6th round pick. So the Broncos end up with Kirk Cousins. They still have 14 overall. They still have a 3rd round pick, but now they also have 2 4ths, 2 5ths, 2 6ths, and 4 7ths. So you have 12 picks, not including compensatory picks for George Paton's first draft class and a veteran quarterback who you know very well, and you feel like you can win now. That's not bad. And Vikings, for their part, they end up with number 9 overall. They get 40. They get back into the second round. They still have 79 and 90, as well as they still have 3 4ths after compensatory picks, as well as a 5th, probably a 6th or 7th, pending on comp picks. And you get Nathaniel Moody and Dalton Reisner, 2 power guard prospects that, hey, if they're rotational guys, great. If they're just backups, cool. But they could certainly vie for one of the starting guard spots. And that frees up $21 million in cap space for the Vikings this year, and then also $35 million in 2022. Woo! Woo! I mean, who says no? Everybody wins. And also, hell, there could be a couple of George Paton guys on the roster, a couple of dudes that he just put the green sticker by. And he can surely help himself, well, depending on who it is. So, like Jalen Holmes, Chris Boyd, hell, Jake Browning, you want him? Go ahead. And the Vikings, number 9 overall, with some more backup picks as well. They have more than enough ammunition to snag their quarterback of the future. Perhaps Trey Lance falls to 9, pretty easily seeing that happen. Or if Zach Wilson or Justin Fields is the apple of their eye, it doesn't take a lot. It would not take a lot to move from 9 up, and it certainly would not hurt as much as going from 14 all the way up. So the Vikings would have a lot of options, certainly. And also Cousins money off the books. Maybe you go after Joe Thuney to go along with Reiser and Nathani Moody. Maybe you go after Leonard Williams. Maybe you go after Patrick Peterson. So it does open things up. And again, it does seem pretty far-fetched, but you never know. Again, George Paton could have been that guy who's been like, Rick, if you do not sign Kirk Cousins to a 3-year, fully guaranteed $84 million contract, I will quit. I will open up a hot dog stand. I'm done. Maybe kebabs, hot dogs and kebabs. Who doesn't like street food, right? I will quit if we do not sign Kirk Cousins. Again, seems far-fetched, but you never know. Again, George Paton could have been that guy just standing on the table like, hey, Rick, if you do not sign Kirk Cousins to a 3-year, $84 million fully guaranteed free agency deal, I quit. I will quit. I will open up a hot dog cart, maybe sell kebabs and dogs. That's a good name to start. I will quit. I resign. I will turn in my tie and my quarter zip pullover. I'm done. Unless we sign Kirk Cousins. And then a couple years later, he could have done it again with the extension. You never know. But George and Rick are longtime friends and colleagues. Neither of them are going to give an inch in negotiations, but I think that there is a way that both franchises could certainly benefit from their working relationship. And this could be it. But your thoughts, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.